get there.
There it is.
We're there now. We should have sound.
I did press the button.
Is it good
There will
now?
be sound in a minute. A lot of people are saying no sound, but there will be.
Do that every time. Just
No
to get the
sound.
engagement.
No sound. There's no sound. Is it me?
Okay, good. little rough takeoff. I was saying, Jan Scott asked me which species of chickadee we were making.
Wait, what?
I don't know, the black and white one.
There's species.
I did not.
Chickadee.
I didn't know that. So.
All right, they can hear us. They just had to lip read
But
first.
I did just put seed in my bird feeder for the first time in a long time, and it was a highway. Tons of cardinals and chickadees.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So super excited. I have 4 birds to share if we can get to all of it. We're going to start with the male cardinal, and then we're going to make the dove, and then I have a female cardinal and a chickadee started, and they're all done the same. So once we have the technique, it's just a matter of color. Very simplified, no legs. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to follow the songbird tutorial for the armature and then
make these.
Make these, but we're just trying to streamline it for wreaths, Christmas trees, decorations. I did experiment with these little metal clips, but I didn't try too hard. So I didn't totally figure out how to get them really firmly seated in the felted part. What did work fairly well is to just take a 6-inch length of the smooth green floral wire and stab it through, and then that if you wanted to twist it around a branch or a wreath, you totally could do that. So then I had a lot of fun putting the birds in different decorations. This big thing was a wreath that I had on my wall, but I put it down and filled it with wool like we make our nests, and I feel like it could be a really nice centerpiece. And then these I had, and I just filled with ornaments, and then this one has all natural greens, and this one has more of the artificial kind that you can buy
sparkly.
Yeah, at all kinds of craft stores, which is nice when you can just reuse it next year. And then I also made nests for these. It's just fun. You don't have to make a nest. You could just have the whole vase or hurricane or whatever you use just be sort of brimming with greenery, and then put birds in it. And then this was a little more retro. I don't know why with the doves I was just like aqua and pink, and with the cardinals I went more traditional, like gold, green, and red. So yeah. I hope you have fun. I think I've made about a dozen birds at this point, so it's a good time. I do have, Talbot, if you want to go overhead, I'll show the supplies that we have. Now, we had put a list on Serafina Fiber Art. We put a list in the newsletter, which, by the way, we've been hearing that some people haven't been getting the newsletter, and it is a 2-step process of click to subscribe to the newsletter, but then confirm through the email that you receive. So Kylo went ahead and confirmed a lot of people who were pending. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that took care of a lot of it. There's a lot of internet-based things that happen that we don't have any control over.
Yeah, different email filters, like your incoming email service, sometimes filters out larger campaigns. I wish I understood more of it, actually. because then I can help you
Yes.
more.
So, okay. So, what I have in front of me is the fiber that we're going to use. In our sale, we gave away 1 ounce of these lovely lamb locks, which are soft and white. And this is a 2-ounce bag. But that 1 ounce, I think I made like 4 doves and 2 nests. Like it goes a long way. And then we also gave away a little length of black because we have been out of black core. Now, hopefully you guys have some in your stash, and it will be back in stock soon. And then other than that, we're using good old off-white chunky core and hollyberry, which I keep thinking is an actress, so I have a really hard time saying that name. And then the dove. So the dove is basically Serafina white, off-white chunky core, black for the eyes and the locks. The male cardinal is hollyberry, tiny bit of walnut, and a tiny bit of golden pheasant, and that's it.
Black.
Yeah, a little black for the eyes. Now, the female cardinal is a little more complicated. I used Gen Tan. I used a little bit of Manx, and then you could use either Palomino or Tawny. They're very close. They're just formulated a little bit differently. So, yeah, and then the Chickadee is the white and the black and a little bit of the Gen Tan. So, then we also need 22 gauge wire. That's a reject. We use the reject wires when we make things. And the nice thing is 122 gauge wire can be the 3 birds, because this is 18 inches and the Chickadee is 5.
Okay.
The Cardinal is 6 and the dove is 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we can get I think I said pretty much what. I mean, we can talk about things and ask questions as we go. But we can get started unless there are questions. Yeah. Oh, I see the colors. Yeah, they look warmer. They look
the
red looks
orange.
More rust than red. I don't know why.
I'm tweaking it.
Talbot's gonna tweak it.
It is.
Play with it.
It is red.
It is a very bright red. That's funny because the other colors. Well, I guess this looks a little browner than it really is as well. What does it look like on your screen?
Same.
Yeah.
Phone too.
Again, can't. Some
If
things
only we
I
could
just
control the internet.
Can't control.
Can't see it until it's streaming on YouTube for me to check it.
I gotcha.
All right. Well, some people are planning on working along. So
Okay.
the first one, you might have a chance because I am working along too. The
Mixed-
rest, she's gonna go through at her pace, which is 20 minutes a bird, and you'll get to see how the colors and everything come together. So we're trying to do maybe the best of both here.
Yeah, mixed reviews on the zippy versus not zippy.
I'm gonna be super fast.
So hopefully you all are going to felt along with us for a little while. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start with the male cardinal. And for that, we want to cut our wire at 6 inches.
That was the dove. Dove was 7.
Yeah. So if we cut that at 6, see, because you would get 3 6-inch pieces out of this.
Yeah.
But we're going to do...
Wait. 6 and 7.
This is 18 inches. And 18 divided by 3
is 6.
is 6. So cut your 6-inch piece. Oh, these are weird. These are rejects.
Yeah, because I'm like this.
These are not 18 inches.
This is a
That's
13-inch piece.
You guys should have true, proper 18-inch wires. It's a 13-inch piece?
Yeah.
Come on. They're supposed to be 18 inches, right? What's that one?
Also,
Am I out of my mind? What's that one?
longer.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
try do it with that one. Just show everybody that
What's yours?
mine's not right either.
All right. 6 inches.
Right.
7 inches. And 3. Perfect. It's a little
3.
bit long.
No, you need a 5.
What?
I don't know what's happening.
6, 7, and 5 is more than 18. I thought you said 3.
What's Well, that's 6 times 3.
Is 18.
18?
So 6, 7, and 5 should be 18.
Yep.
Thank you.
So this was probably only 16 inches to start.
Okay.
That's all right.
Okay.
All I need is the 5-inch one for the Cardinal, right?
Okay. 6. Everybody get yourself a 6-inch piece
We're
of
starting,
22-inch wire.
strong.
Now, I did this a couple different ways. We got to kind of scoot in. This is your welcome to my world. You cannot
Work
pull that
awkward.
back to a comfortable place. I started the first time by putting this on the face ace and wrapping the whole thing, which is nice because you can get that nice strong pull.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a compromise. So the other way that I did it was to just wrap it in my hand. And I had more success with that, actually. So that's what we're going to do.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right.
your own bundle.
We're going to start with this. Okay, so, it looks now, it went super,
I had to go an extreme to
okay,
see.
okay.
So we'll see what this looks like.
Wow, it does look like we're getting ready to make some foxes.
Foxes. That's all right.
So take a 6-inch piece. Oh yeah, that looks better,
Ooh,
Talbot.
He's there.
Yep. And then let's just split that in half. And then see if you can split one in half again. The first thing we're going to do is wrap the beak. So we just want a pretty nice tight piece. Pretty nice small piece. So this is a quarter of a 6-inch piece of hollyberry. And you're going to wrap out and back. And what we're thinking about is they have quite a chunky beak, the Cardinals. Will you pass me that guy? So we really want this cone shape. Now, this has the impasto on it. We're going to talk about that as well, which we're pretty happy with. And Kyla has linked it on the Goods and Faves page. Yeah.
We're mostly happy with
We're
it.
mostly happy with it. We're hoping Power Wax comes back. Now, if we also did you put the Odie coat
I
on
didn't.
there? Okay. This was also recommended to us by a fellow felter, and this gets some super shine going on with
Odie
it.
coat on top of impasto.
On top of impasto. So we really want this nice cone shape. I'm going to leave this guy out here because he'll be our reference. So you can start back further than the beak actually is. That gives you, a nice anchor. But then in that last 3/4 of an inch is when you want to start to build your beak. I just go out like as tightly as I can and then turn around and go back.
Somebody asked what's in our mugs.
I got some coffee.
It's because we couldn't add.
Oh,
We couldn't add. It's just water in mine.
I was mathing just right.
It was the wire.
It was the wire.
I wasn't mathing.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and hold my fingers here and just go around a little bit more to build that cone. If you want to, you could just go out and back and then add more later if you feel like it needs to be built up. But I feel like I'm able to do it while I'm right here. That looks good. That looks really good, but get your piece narrow now. Yeah, so that you're not, just take the rest of that back. Basically, we're trying to make a big chunky turnip on the end of this. What?
My wire.
Yeah.
I mangled my wire. Well, they've started out different. The body's going to get big, right?
The body is going to get
I'm not worried about
very
that.
roundy.
Not worried about that.
Let's use the other quarter that we had.
Yeah.
And I hold it differently. I actually find that it's easier to turn the wire than to wrap the wire.
Okay.
But again, up to you. I start off with a wrap to get it going, and then I start by turning the wire nice and tight.
Are we getting the whole wire thick or not? I have a massive chunk. Is that going to be a problem?
That's not a problem. But
Okay.
start to move down the wire.
And Kyla, if you could, yes. Just so it's in frame.
Who needs to work in the frame?
I'm going to love this a little bit.
That's because we're normally recording and we're like, Sarah, move up. It's a little pressure.
So yesterday I mapped out 2025, which was very exciting. Good things in store. So if you're just learning, wrapping tightly is going to be a very good skill to work on, because it's just then the work is done, and you'll get used to drafting and controlling the ribbon and all of that good stuff. Just takes a little practice. So these birds are pretty simple, but it is like kind of the more practice you've had, the better they're gonna.
Yeah. If this is your first time, watch Sarah, not me. Okay. Mine looks just like yours.
Okay. So now I'd say about an inch back, or I guess that's more like an inch and a half, from tip to.
Yeah.
We're gonna bend it, and then let's go an inch from that. You're gonna bend 1.25 inches. Let me get you a real measurement. Yeah, this is about 1.5 inches, and this is 1.5 inches.
All right. That's great.
So you make them into a little, what is that? Z. S.
Yeah.
Okay, now take a 6-inch piece.
We have a half.
Yeah,
Still.
just save that
Okay.
aside. And split it in half. And stretch that out a little bit. We want it to be thinner and longer. So this is before I stretched it out, and that's after I stretched it out. This is like a soft draft, a semi-draft. All right. Now, does everybody remember the crisscross wrap? That's what we're going to do on the head. I'm going to go ahead around the back of the head a little bit, just to build the back of the head up. And now a nice tight pull so that this is all staying under control. And I'm going around the back of the neck. And then, whoops, see, don't do that. And then I'm going over the top of the head. And every time I'm crisscrossing under the chin. And that's going to build up this head shape. Maybe exaggerate your fold.
My bend.
Your bend, so that it's real marked. That looks really good. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. This is a little bit much wool. That's 6 inches turned into, like, doesn't it seem like a lot?
Mm-hmm.
All right, take some of that off. It was too much. You can always add more, so. Now he's all head. But they kind of just, like, they get no neck. So that's kind of the goal. Like, if you can see with this little Chickadee blank, you want, this is the shape we're going for, and you want it to kind of end up with no neck. Okay, so now our second half, we're going to do the same crisscross in this fold. That looks great.
This is bothering me. I know it doesn't matter.
Oh, it totally doesn't
I
matter.
know.
That's where the slow down would come in. If you think, I gotta fix that. So now we're gonna go around the neck and then around the body. This isn't gonna be quite as, I mean, you still want it nice and tight, but the head is a little bit tough, right? Like, to keep right in that. Come back.
Wait, we're going around this bend. Yeah.
You're filling in. Yeah, you're filling in this hole.
I feel like my bend's too big.
Your bend is not too big, but you can move your wrap.
Okay.
You can shift your wrap. Yeah, just take that a little farther up.
Yeah. My wool wants to split. I'm fighting it.
You're fighting something. I'm not
I
sure.
am. It's because my wool wants to split. There's a weak spot. I won't let it go. There.
You're getting it. Yeah, and then
It's
just
still really necky.
okay. So
I'm like,
yeah, there you go. Get up on that neck.
I got him. He's twisted. He's twisted. He's fine.
He's fine. They're always fine.
He's perfect. Everything I make has a long neck. Literally. He needs more in his neck.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Well, it's like, I know what I'm trying to do, and my job is to say it so that everybody else knows what I'm trying to do.
So should I add a piece to his neck?
Let's take, we had that other, remember that 6-inch half that
Yes.
I said ignore it? Let's put that on it. Now this time I'm going to go, because I feel like he's a little wimpy back here, so I'm going to go around the neck, and then I'm going to go all the way back there. The crisscross wrap is,
Look at him.
yeah. He's getting just right now. Oh, I so wish I could see everybody's work.
All right.
This is the shape we're going for, but that's the mama.
Got it. It's great.
Why don't you put this, just put this right there.
To make it
sorry, I
not
had that.
to make it not open.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do one more wrap. I feel like it needs one more bit of bulk.
This is when I slow her down.
Nope. Oh yeah, I remember those whistles.
What was
These old timey bird shaped whistles.
All right. There it is.
Let's do another half of a 6-inch piece. And I always just draft it out a little bit. Now we just want to bulk it up. You know, you don't have to crisscross. You just put this wrap. I just want them to be bigger. I'm gonna go right just around, like around his belly. That's better. So easy, right? And this is such a perfect cardinal color. I was starting all with all kinds of top coat, and I was like, it doesn't need it. All right, let me check my notes.
You're so much plumper.
Sometimes you got to stab like down, or you know what I mean, like to put them this way, and yeah, or just add more wool. You could add more wool.
I feel like he needs a little more.
Male cardinal, 6-inch wire, wrap tightly. Wrap beak, tight and bulky to size. Shape the wire. Wrap the head. Wrap the body. 2 2-inch tacos.
I had to lose the neck.
You look pretty.
It was too. Thank you. Thanks.
I just looked over.
Do I look stressed?
No.
All right, good. I don't feel any.
I'm just appreciating your beauty, taking
Well,
a moment.
thank you.
What? It's perfect.
I'm just making a face at you because
It's perfect.
it's good.
Looks really good.
Yes. Okay. 2-inch. Okay. So we want to pull like a short piece. It's going to end up more than 2 inches, but you know.
Okay.
And then split that in half.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're making 2 tacos. So I just put them vertically. Now, one is going to go on the back of the head because, like I said, we really want to lose the look of like neck, you know.
Okay.
And then one's going to go on the chest to give them a little more pomp and circumstance.
Half. We taco it at the halfway point.
Yes. I feel like yours ended up wider than mine. Did you restack them?
This one I did.
Okay. Yeah, we want them to be like about an inch wide, or a little. It's going to be a little more than an inch, but yeah. How's everybody making out?
I feel bad for the people out there who don't have your bird to compare theirs to, to see if they're on the right track.
They said Jean said, "It's cool seeing another felter keeping up with Sarah. You go, Kyla."
Aw, thanks, Jean.
High five.
Internet high fives. How much we stabbing this thing?
Just to get it all stuck together.
Right.
Then this one goes at the back of the head, kind of around, seam at the back of the head, and floof going down.
Okay. A little cardinal bonnet.
Yeah. Kind of not really on the head, more like at the back of the head going down the neck. I love tacos and shingles for like blending shapes. If anybody's made the Raven, that whole shape was kind of made with gigantic tacos. And then one goes on the chest. But when you put it, I'm going to show you this real quick. When you put it on the chest, don't put it up under the chin. Put it like downwards, yes, where his collarbone would be. So about an inch down from under the chin. Talbot, are you keeping your eyes on the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Just let us know if there's a
Okay, sure.
a question or a conversation starter.
I did something weird. On
Yeah.
the head.
Okay.
Stab
So
this in
yeah,
more?
stab it,
I didn't
like
wanna-
stab it everywhere, you know. So it's really like becomes a part of it.
I'm trying to avoid the inevitable neck that I always create in things that shouldn't have so much neck.
I am in love with the chickadees.
They're very cute. They named
They've
the two
always been
kinds
one of
of
my
chickadees.
favorites. Oh, okay.
A black
Black
capped.
capped. That's
Yeah.
probably what this is.
K.
Okay. Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
Black taco under beak. Let me give you some black
Thank
because.
you.
So this one kind of same thing, but try to really pull it
An
short.
inch.
With fringe, I'm ended up at 2 inches. Yeah, and then I still would split it in half. This
Okay.
just doesn't need to be a lot of wool. This is going to be a black taco that goes boop right under there
Okay.
to start to make the mask. But we're actually going to shape the. I think it helps to shape the taco first.
Okay.
So we have half of like the shortest amount of black roving you can pull, and then we split that in half. But you basically want to end up with a little inch square. And then when you put it on, they are wider than they are long. So it kind of just goes, or maybe I should get up a reference image. Let's get a reference image.
Meh.
Let's get a reference image so we're doing it right here. I guess I don't need to put red cardinal. It's just a cardinal. No, not the team.
I mean, it's still a cardinal.
Gotta put bird in there. There we go. Yeah, they're all different. This makes like a kind of a square under the chin.
Karen is asking what needles you are using.
I am using one. Let me say the
38.
right thing. 38. No, that feels too.
This is a single 38.
This is a single 38, and then my tool has two 38s. Be sure to have a picture open and shape this the way you want it to be. Don't let the shape dictate your the look of your cardinal. You dictate the look of your cardinal. That looks good.
3 needles and a pen tool is
It's too much. I don't like it.
Unless you're working on a really big piece, it's a lot.
Okay, the next step is fun.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Someone's asking how much is the kit, which it is not a kit. So
Yeah, we don't have we didn't create a kit for this. We just wanted to do the felt along, so we listed the supplies.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to, do you still have half a piece of red? Okay.
Yep.
Take 2 inches of that. Oh my gosh, they're so funny. And then we're gonna put some plumage on
Oh,
top.
fun.
I'm just gonna give you some.
My piece is wimpy compared to your piece.
Here,
I got it.
my piece is maybe a little bit was a little bit much. It's like a 2-inch piece. Half of a 2-inch piece. Kind of like what we made the
Okay.
neck top about. Then just take a thin wisp of this and put that on top. A little bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we flip it over so that that pretty color is on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Then we make a taco. It is taco time with these birds.
Yeah, someone asked about, is there a tutorial for the shapes? There is a shapes tutorial from way back when. A lot of the beginner tutorials, though, address some of the common shapes. So
This is handy. You have one. Just to get it established a little bit. It's going to help. Now, this goes on top of the head. You can pick whichever side you think is nicer. Almost right down to the beak. But we want it, you're not going to smush it down like this. You want it to travel around the top of the head so that ultimately you're going to stab it together.
okay.
But it helps we have these little things. Yeah, these are handy. It helps to get it started.
My beak is weak.
And then centered, and then start working on the sides. So I'm taking the sides like back. Don't take them down the side of the cheek.
So if people don't wrap tightly enough, then like my beak, I needed to take a second to stab it because it was just
stab it to what it needs to be.
It was just a little weak. So when Sarah works quickly, part of that is because she wraps in such a way that she does not need to stab it very much. It's like you practice or something.
There's people on the internet saying my work is too soft. And I'm like, how do you know how soft my work is? And too soft for what? To play hockey with.
It wouldn't injure someone.
But also, just do it the way you want, the way you want to do it. Isn't that fun?
It is fun. So it stabs to itself also.
Yeah, start to stab it flat. You kind of come into a, I don't know, I'm sure there's a hairstyle now. Oh, that looks great.
Nice.
Uh-huh. Now we're going to take you just need a little piece of black.
Okay.
And I like to have it like thin right over the center of the beak, but then it kind of like bulges out. It's almost like putting on a mask. Thin over the nose, bigger where the eyes would be, and then you can even sort of cat eye it a little bit. And I do that just with stabbing. Like, you know, get it centered. You feel like we're in focus, Talbot?
I mean, to me, it looks fine.
Okay. Okay. I just looked over and I was like, is it? Okay, but yeah, so stab it, center it, and then you can just, you want it to connect to the black little chin.
Hard to get it really thin in the center. Like it wants to.
You either just gotta, you could twist it or you gotta stab it in the same place. Or
Do you have both sides done already?
I think I'm gonna give mine just a little more fluff on his chest. I'm just lifting this black up and I'm gonna put another little bit of wool on him.
It's a whole conversation happening on there.
What are they talking about?
I just see something about beehives. Cardinal beehive.
Yes,
Oh, the hairstyle.
Yes, like Flo. Did you used to watch that?
Oh yeah.
I love that show.
Mel's Diner.
Mel's Diner. Is that what it's called? No, it's called Alice.
No, Alice. It was at Mel's Diner,
but it was
right?
at Mel's Diner, yeah. What did she say?
Kiss my grits.
Kiss more grits.
Is it wimpy on the sides? Like it needs more black.
I don't know that it needs more.
Spread it out.
I don't think it needs more. Maybe a little on that side. Then you can, like, if you feel like this is a bit much, which they usually do end up a bit much.
Never.
I would go at it like from the back a little bit first. And then
I'm not cutting mine. That's my signature. Because then you'll pay attention to that and ignore anything.
all right, almost done.
Really?
Yeah. What time is it? All right. All right, now we want to check my notes. Black mask, 5-inch walnut taco. I got some of that.
Thank you.
So I use the whole piece, a 5-inch piece. I might have given you a little bit much. And then I stab it in the center. Taco it up. Now you could put like a little bit of plumage on this. I was Just put a thin glaze. I don't taco it, just stick it on there. Okay, then you want to shape it into like a little bit of a point. So it's not, you don't have to fold it necessarily, just kind of stab it. You can, and you can do further,
Okay.
you know,
Where's it going?
further after it's on.
Tail?
Sorry, this is going on
Okay.
the tail. So I put the fold of the taco actually like kind of onto the back. You don't want it way out here because then it
Okay.
ends up a little wimpy looking. So we put it onto the base of the back, just at the bottom, little lower than that. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Now, if you need to, you can take a little bit of red and just go over that to lose that wrapped look of the tail piece.
Oh.
Jean asked if you could trim the crest after the fact.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay,
So I'm not sure.
Like at the end
Okay.
end.
Oh, I mean, at any time you can. I did it after I put it on. I think that's what she means.
okay.
All right. Looking lovely. Excellent.
Okay.
And now we just need to make some wings.
All right.
So we're going to take, again, a short piece of core. About 2 or 3 inches. Split that in half.
Okay.
And then some of them I did just the plumage. Some of them I did plumage and walnut.
Okay.
But I would take this, and this you do want to taco everything together. So I would cover my red with plumage, and then if you want to add some walnut, you can. Did I give you some?
I
Here.
have some.
Yes, this everything. So far, we haven't taken down a live stream. They stay on our channel. In fact, there's a playlist, right,
Yes.
for felt alongs.
Yes.
So many of our projects have a tutorial and a felt along. So whichever you prefer. And sometimes what happens changes because
Yeah.
maybe the tutorial's 8 years old, but the felt along's only.
Right. So you might
2-year-olds.
not have had the face ace, but then you use the face ace
Yeah.
and the felt along. Felt alongs are always good to watch for.
So we flip this over. And this time I'm going to make the taco about a third of the way down. Just what I'm thinking about is the length of the wing that I want, and if I folded it in half, I feel like the wing would get too short. And then you need to round the taco edges in a little bit so that it's not quite
I lost.
such a
Mine get really wide when I fold them over. I don't have it stretched enough. Oh, the folding, the mirroring.
well, this is just make it into a ghost. It can be symmetrical.
Okay. One does not have to be. Okay.
I mean, on the Chickadee, we really sharpened that up.
Yeah, that was a challenge.
Yeah, I'm just pulling the edges in so that the top of the taco gets a little bit rounded. I think I want this longer. I'm going to put a little bit of plumage on top of it, just going a little longer. Oh, I see. Can the crest be trimmed with thinning shears? Definitely. Yeah, you can. You can go at it any way you want. There are no felted Cardinal haircut rules. All right, then the wings. Really fill them out and go onto the side and top.
You sort of pucker it a little bit.
I'm gonna pucker it a little bit. Yeah, you want to get that roundness and that shape. You don't want it flat on there, you know. So I'm stabbing in at the edges a little bit. He's getting very handsome. I mean, these can become as elaborate as you want. You could, you know, do some of the work that's on the Raven tutorial and sharpen the, you know, wing edges up. But I really was just, my goal was to make a simple, you know, a simple, easy to follow little Christmas project. And then if you want to, you can put, I like to put a little bit of red just to blend away the top of the top of the wing. So I'm just taking a very fringy piece and going from the top of the wing onto the neck.
And where can people find the supply list?
The supply list, it was in the newsletter. It's on our Facebook page.
I will add it to this video description as well.
Yeah.
It looks better when the tips of the wings get a little lost.
It's also at the beginning of the video. I went over everything. What's that?
The wings getting a little bit lost, like where they connect. It just looks nicer when you blend it away.
Yeah,
Instead
I
of
think
having
so.
that
I
hard-
think so. Like
hard
I like
line.
to keep the harder line underneath because that's where the feathers are actually sticking off. But these are, you know, they're slightly stylized too. We're not diving into Cardinal
Right.
specifics. We're making little decorative ornaments. Yeah. That's it.
That's it. You could impasto the beak.
Done. You can impasto the beak.
All right. That could be. I see some things I'd change, but sure.
Yeah, that's good. I think I would just get this wing edge. You want this more up here. Like
Okay.
they, you know what I mean? It would be more
give it
like
more
right
belly.
there. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Let us know. Did you guys finish your cardinal? Where is everybody? Because we're about to make a dove.
We're not. You are.
You're not going to make the dove?
Am I gonna make the dove? I mean, I could, but no, because then if you can get through, you got to show the female cardinal,
Okay,
because people
okay,
are gonna want to see
okay.
that.
We're gonna go for it now. Then
That means if you barely kept up with that one, grab some coffee or tea and watch Sarah work.
The dove is just a little, it's super simple. It's all the same steps. It's super simple. The head, the way I do the head is just a little trickier.
All right. That looks like a cardinal.
All right, putting wings on. Good, good, good. Now, where was this guy? We can put, let's put him there in his nest with his lady.
We have someone.
Put him back here.
Bye,
What?
Jean. It's good to see you. Oh, people are talking about the SD cards. I will say, if you get the online version, if you can get to a place that has good internet and download them, then you essentially have the SD card. You have the files.
Online version of what?
Getting the tutorial on the Annex as
the
opposed
advanced
to
tutorials.
as opposed to getting the SD card, especially if you're international, because then you don't have to pay shipping. Well, you don't have to pay shipping, but all right. I'm gonna come over here now. And give
Okay,
you
I'm gonna
space.
come in just a little bit more.
Yep.
Okay, did you guys know that you can clean your stabit with your scissors? It's one of my favorite ways. But you do want a clean stabit.
Someone said, "Did I miss eyes?"
No eyes on this. It's
No
just black
eyes.
on black. So we didn't go for eyes. The cardinal gets eyes. I'm sorry, the dove. I did not do eyes on the chickadee either. You don't have to go out of screen.
I can go out of screen.
It's gonna look weird.
Well, you can also zoom
You should
in a
go
bit.
centered.
I can zoom in a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's at a slight angle, so you can even like lean forward a bit, and it should be.
Well, I'm gonna have to because my stabit is far away.
You can zoom in on Sarah on the front way too.
No.
Get
We're
really,
good. We're good.
Get really close.
Okay, the dove is 7 inches of wire. What's that? That's like 8. What's this piece? And off-white chunky core, Serafina white. I used Gen tan on the beak. I've used like fair. You can use a skin tone. There's all different. It's just light. It's just on the lighter side. Will you do me a favor? I don't have open Gen tan in my bin. There might be some in there.
Is this it?
No, but I can use. What is that? I can use that. That's like old copper. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Whatever color you're using on the beak, it is thinner than the cardinal. So is the chickadee. So I'm just going to start about 1.5 inches back. And I'm using a thin 2-inch strip and go out and back. Nice and tight. You could put tacky wrap on this wire if you want to. If you had your your cold wax or even your swax, there's tons of ways to get this stuck and shiny. So this is about like a little thicker than a toothpick. About the thickness of a skewer, I'd say.
can use a cheap paper towel under your work to keep colors separate.
Oh, that's interesting.
As long as
Cool.
you peel it up.
Why? I want to use a good one. But no, yes, paper towels
Interesting.
are inexpensive, and that's good to know. Alrighty. Then we're going to wrap the wire with off-white chunky core. I think I'm going to pull about a 6-inch piece and break it into quarters. Just give myself some easy ribbons to work with. And very much the same process. I'm not too worried about right now about what's beak and what's not. Like it's just we're just getting wool onto the wire. Has Lee chimed in? She said she was going to be able to join us
She was here
today.
at the very beginning.
Okay.
Oh, the cheap thin type is easier to felt through.
Okay.
I can see that.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna impasto my beak.
All right, will you do that? Why don't you do that on camera?
Sure. I will in a second.
Wow, a plastic bag. I wonder what that's like to stab into. I'm gonna put 2 pieces of this on here. 2 pieces of 6-inch quarters onto this wire. We just want to get it good and wrapped up. Kyla's fixing her Cardinal.
I'm just stabbing my beak to make sure it's tight before I impasto it.
That's good. That's good.
Because my wrap was
You gonna impasto mine too?
mid.
He's right in front of you.
Sure.
Now with this piece, I am gonna go out to the beak. I think we want 3/4 inch beak.
When you get to the other two, you have those ready to go.
I know.
They're gonna fly.
Yeah. So when we get to these, oh, and guess what? The birds do fly. I'm sure there's like a Christmas game we can make up. They soar across the room
Oh,
like
yeah?
torpedoes.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was making a fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna fly. Oh,
yeah.
like-
So these are all ready to go. So I can
else
just
we
show
do
the
that?
coloring.
Goldfish? Did we throw the
Yeah,
goldfish?
goldfish. That sounds right.
They sail pretty good.
All right, so the dove, we want the 1.25 more like an 1.25 inch. And then this is more of a curve than a sharp fold. They have a longer neck. So we don't necessarily want, let me have one here. Are you a pretty one? My first one, they get better as they go. Yeah, like the fish darts, exactly.
The fish darts.
So they have a longer neck. We're not doing that thing where we're trying to make a little poof ball with a beak and a tail. They have a distinct shape to them. Do you need a tool or anything?
I'm gonna use my hand.
Okay. Or a toothpick.
Someone asked what the impasto was.
Oh,
We do
sure.
not have power wax currently available, so we have tried a couple of different things, and this impasto seems to be the best. It's still not power wax, but it's not helpful when I hold it.
You gotta get. I like make it white
Yeah.
and then just push it in. There you go. All right, with my other 6-inch quarters, I'm gonna do the crisscross head wrap. This is a nicer amount of wool. We had too much wool with that red. It was a little crazy.
Now, sometime tomorrow, this beak will be dry.
It does take a while, but
yeah.
And then I need a bigger piece to do the body. So I'm going to use more like a 9-inch, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, 8 or 9 inches. And then split that in half or quarters, whatever feels comfortable. This particular roving of off-white chunky core is a little on the thinner side. So you can see that half looks more like a quarter of some of the roving.
All right, it'll dry. I'm trying to not
Thank
get
you.
it all over the. I'll do yours.
Okay. Now I'm going to do this body part. It's not as exaggerated as the Cardinal and the Chickadee. In other words, I didn't like make a sharp bend where I'm trying to really just get this dense poof ball. I've got it a little more curved and I want a bit of a more graceful shape. So I'm just going to wrap down the neck here. And then I'm thinking of it, I guess, more as like a figure 8. Like a more, you think of it more as a teardrop shape.
Not so chunky.
Not so chunky.
So do you normally just like fringe that out and then trim it?
Yeah,
If
when
you need
you are using power wax or the impasto, it's going to pull up some fibers. Just trim them. Just trim them
Once it
afterwards. Yeah. So that was 2 9-inch halves on the body so far. I'm going to take this 6-inch half that I have all stretched out and go right around the neck here. I don't want this weird wimpy spot. That looks better to me.
You can always do a second coat once it dries.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow.
Someone asked, how does Mod Podge compare to PowerTex?
I haven't used the Mod Podge, but I imagine it would do the same thing. Mod Podge is a little gluier.
Yeah.
It might be a little stickier. Yeah.
It would
It's a
be.
bit more like plastic.
It would probably dry more like the PowerTex. Like it would harden
Like
it.
PowerTex, yeah. All right, I'm gonna do another 9-inch half.
How does PowerTex? Oh, they're asking how does PowerTex compare to Mod Podge?
I don't know. I've never used Mod Podge on wool, so I couldn't say.
Yeah, it is very gluey.
This I'm keeping in this area. I'm not doing more back here.
The beaks are fine, not waxed or impastoed. It's just a additional thing. Just a little finishing.
Now what are you gonna do?
Swatch you.
All right. I don't know. I think I want this last piece. I'm gonna break it down a little.
Dog sneeze.
I'm just going right around. They get big. Like, I know this probably looks small compared to this, but this has a little bit of shingling on it, so they do get.
The locks poofing
And the
out.
locks, and then the wings, and. But that's about the shape you want.
How wide is your wrap right now?
Let's see. One and a half.
Okay.
Let me refer to my notes. "10 inches off-white chunky core." Okay. More off-white chunky core to suit the shape. Very detailed sketch here. Chest pillow. 6 to 9 inches. Off-white chunky core quarter. I think that's a little wimpy. So let's get another piece. And it says quarter, but I'm going to do a third because, like I said, this is a little wimpy. And then I think I used the Zuli tool, but let's just do it in our hands. You want to fold about an inch, but it's going to end up bigger. So start thinking inch and think rectangle so that you get a nice flat piece, not like a rolled up like a sleeping bag. So it's as if you were wrapping it around the flat side of the Zuli tool. And then this is going to go onto the chest to really accentuate that dove look. I'm putting the fringe up to what would be the collarbone, and then the other fringe onto the belly.
Someone suggested or asked if we've used a heat gun or hair dryer to dry.
I haven't, but
Which
that's
could
not
work.
a bad idea.
Someone asked the Cardinal dimensions.
They end up being around 0.65 ounces, I think.
Beak to the end of the tail, 7 inches long. Body,
Yeah. And that depends a lot on tail
Yeah.
floof.
body,
So I would
actual body.
measure that.
No,
Here, you hold that.
you work.
I'm gonna wrap this pillow that I just put on.
4.5. 5 including the beak. As far as like width,
It's tricky. It's tricky.
2.5 inches. 2 to 2.5 inches. Width with the wings. Just people are wondering.
Yeah,
the ending
yeah.
point.
Yeah. They're they
The
don't
hair.
they don't need to be little. The hair.
A good 1.5 inches.
All right, this is a good shape. And now I want to shingle up the body with Seraphina white. Shingling is a great way to cover ground and smooth out shape. So I'm going to work, sometimes I might need to split this in half, but that was the end. So I'm going to let the floof go right off the tail. I'm going to felt the center 1/3. And then fold the top third over.
Covering ground, finishing,
Yeah.
and floofing.
Smoothing, floofing, covering. Pull off a piece, split it in half. I'm working with about 1 inch by 2 inch pieces. 1 inch by 3 inch, I guess. it just doesn't need to be very thick, you know. We pretty much only have to go up the center because the wings are going to be on the side. So the bottom third of this piece covers the fold of the last piece. I felt the center 1/3, and I'm letting it go, you know, around the edges as wide as it is, and then the top third folds over. Oh, you know what you could do?
Floof some locks.
Yeah, I think I have a bag over by your laptop that's already. Just pick out some good ones.
Okay.
Kyla's gonna save me time. You guys don't have a Kyla.
They could.
Picking out your locks is a big part of this project.
Do you want the end that you're attaching floofed or?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, the whole thing can be not totally floofed, but fuzzed up a little bit. Just a little pull apart.
Okay.
Perfect.
How many?
Ish. 15, 16-ish.
Okay.
Maybe more than that.
Oh, these are nice.
Yeah. So we're getting this lovely smooth shape. Any questions, Talbot?
No.
Sorry.
It's all right. So I think I'm on my 5th one. I want to go right up to the chest here. The nice thing about watching the tutorial first, whether it's a felt along or not, is kind of like soaking in the information and seeing the destination.
Makes a lot more sense when you know where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was, I think, 5 shingles, 5 or 6. Just right up the whole body.
I realized earlier that Christmas was very soon. Like in the under 20 day. Just have some stuff to do.
Yep. Carla was out getting her greenery today. All right, now we're going to make a tail. This is a reverse taco. And I'm going to use the Serafina white. It doesn't need to be chunky, so I don't need core. I just want a nice 2.5 inch by 2 inch swath, I'd say. Well, let me get it just, I got a little wimpy, so I'm just going to bulk it up just a little bit. And then in this time, it's the opposite. We're going to, I'm doing this almost just about in half. And this is going to be end of the tail because I want that nice fanned tail look. They have a fan tail, whereas the Chickadee and the Cardinal, we were trying to make a point tail. So I'm making the taco. And the fringe is what is going to attach to the back. And we want the pointy end of this triangle to be on the back because of this graceful shape they have. Like we don't want this area to get all like bulky. We want them to taper and then have this fan. And then I have these lovely locks prepared for me, which I am going to fan off the tail.
Oh, good. Christina got her. She got her fiber while she was in the States.
Oh, awesome. Where is Christina from?
Ireland.
Oh, good.
I am glad to hear it.
I'm letting the locks stick off, 1.5 2 inches. I've put 5 down, 4 or 5, and I might just put 2 more fanned out ones. It's probably enough, Kyla. Thank
Okay.
you.
That is no hardship. It's one of my
Oh, I know.
favorite things
So,
to do.
just put another layer. Just get them nice and... I don't want it to be weighty, but I do want it to look thoroughly done. I'll put a little bit of Serafina white on top to just blend them in. The locks aren't even really necessary. Like if you wanted a crisper look to your dove, the locks were just amazing, and
They're necessary.
we just wanted to wanted
Locks
to
are
use
always
them.
necessary.
I'm just gonna try to blend away this taco edge a little bit here.
Christine asked about filling the Stabbit with lentils
That'd be
in
fine.
case
I
you
think.
had trouble with like pantry moths, I guess.
Yeah.
We've never done that, but a lentil should be, any little grain that would move out of the way of the needles
Yeah.
should be fine. Although any grain might, if you have a pantry
Oops.
issue. I don't know.
I don't know either. So this is where it can get quite big depending on where you put this. But I do want to really pinch it down and try to keep it narrow where I'm attaching it. And just like me, you guys you'll get better. Like each bird I made just got better and better. Now I'm taking this floof that I put on the fringe and letting it blend into the tail.
I'm gonna get lots of offers to visit everyone's felt studios to prep fiber.
Yeah,
That's what it's
in
saying.
Ireland.
That's what it's saying. That would be extra fun.
I'll come prep fiber in Ireland. She's looking amazing. Okay, now we need to make some wings. Guess what? They are a taco. Take a 3-inch piece of of Serafina white, split it in half. This time I laid the locks right on in there. Let's see if there's whiter ones. And I am teasing them out a little bit because I don't need them to look blocky. I need them to look like beautiful feathers. And then I'd say I'm folding this taco maybe a little north of half. No, that's about in half. Letting the white locks come out the end. And the Serafina white is kind of encasing it all. And then I can kind of tease this into a little bit more of a point. Yeah, I'm just going to bring it into a little bit more of a point.
All right, if you have extra white locks when you're done,
They're awesome in the bottom of the nest too.
so good. Super cute gnome. It would be like a mini gnome beard. Just
Yeah,
little
definitely.
pocket gnomes.
This one I am going to roll one side to get a nice clear sort of folded wing look, but the other side I'm going to leave fringy to go over the back. So for example, on my dove I rolled this side So that will be like more of a marcation, and then this will go onto the back. But let me get this. I like to do both things before I put them on so that I make sure everything looks right. Ooh, thank you. Further floofed. Further floofed fabulousness. Talbot, can I ask you a gigantic favor?
Yeah.
I really want to sip my coffee, but it's like ice cold. Will you just 30 seconds?
I could have done that.
Oh. I needed to have my mug warmer on, and I didn't. Thank
Now I
you.
have the mug warmer.
You are the
Talbot
mug warmer.
is the
Thank
mug
you.
warmer. Wings, a little top coat, and an eyeball.
We got to do the head poof.
Oh, the head poof.
Yep. And we got to make sure that we roll this wing the right way.
The locks are not coming from Lee, although Lee has fabulous locks.
Lee does have fabulous locks. These are from our shepherdess in Oregon, and they are a long wool mix. Thank you so much. It's Wensleydale, Teeswater, Gotland, and some of them also have border luster.
And she did that
For us.
for you guys, for these locks.
What time is it?
Like
Okay.
2 years
All right,
ago.
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do
You're
it.
doing good. When did she start that?
She's been
Like
oh my
years.
gosh, years, yeah.
But like breeding that particular breed for us.
Oh, just not long. Yeah, I'd say 2 years maybe. Now, you can experiment with your wings, sticking up or off, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried it and haven't been super happy with it, so I always end up sticking them down, but we made this with Snow White, which has the sparkle in it. One of them has sparkle in her. Yeah, so I like to have the she's getting a little swoop to her. I like to have this line be kind of like the wings getting blended in with the tail. I'm digging that. They all start to tell you what they need. Tell a joke.
Tell a joke.
I'm just kidding.
No, it would be so funny. You would do a spit take with your coffee.
Yes, that'd be very fun.
My jokes are that funny. Get on your shirt, on your dove.
Watching that water bottle video with, with the fan, and there's a lot of them out there, but there's the one where the dad does not move. And I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, and every time
it makes you laugh.
Oh my gosh.
I just sent one to my family today of someone going up one of those like J-bars or T-bars up a hill on their snowboard, but they lose control and they go down. Someone has it from like the ski lift, and they go down and take out like 10 people as they're sliding back down the hill. It's terrible. It's terrible and hilarious.
Remember, like AFV is like it's now just. All right, so we need a little taco under the chin with Serafina white. So I'm gonna do it like a 2-inch by 1-inch piece. It's gonna end up 1 inch. And fold that right in half.
We should do the ceiling fan thing here.
We should.
With birds.
That would be so friendly. It'd just be like, boop.
Get a little peck.
That would be hilarious. You definitely have to do that. All right, very simple. Serafina white taco going under the beak to blend into our chest.
If you have not seen the water bottle on the ceiling fan
With the dad. It
videos,
says like my dad didn't move. He just stood there.
it's worth a little search.
It is. It's funny. I don't even care. Sometimes I'm like, that's staged, you know. I didn't even care if it was staged. It was just okay. Now we're gonna do that again, except we need to make sure that this piece is very, very consistent. Maybe a little bit thicker. I'm gonna put another thin, like maybe just layer a few thin pieces. So it's ending up about 1.5 inches by, over 2 inches with the fringe. We want it to be real consistent because what this piece is going to do is go all the way around and come back. And it kind of makes, they have this real roundy like head. I don't know how to describe it. Very smooth and round. It doesn't have, sharp angles and didn't do that quite in half, did I? So now it's looking about 2 inches wide. Like you're saying, your taco spreads out when you,
They always spread.
which is okay, but
I spread a little with tacos, burritos.
I'm like, what? Where are you going?
You eat a big burrito.
Yeah, yes, I understand you now. Those taco shop burritos, my cheeks are red. Those taco shop burritos that we get, it's like a baby.
It's a baby.
It's so dense and it's warm. And
I eat all of
and
it.
then Kyle and I shove the whole thing in.
No,
into our
sometimes
mouths.
you save some. I never even pretend I'm going to save it.
Okay, now I want to try and get this. I'm going to have to work at an angle that works for me. I want to try and get this actually to come, just the tips to come all the way around right near the beak. If you watch where I'm headed, then if you are still felting along, it's like, I feel like we do this on something else.
It's a bird bonnet for sure.
We're trying to make a hole all the way around. There's probably a Russian word for how they wear that. And then it all gets smoothed down. But I want it real close to the beak. And I want it...
Isn't it sort of a hedgy thing?
all the way around. Hedgy.
The hedgy.
The hedgy does get... I just made hedgies. I should know.
Talbot put nothing in Sarah's coffee. It's just a Friday afternoon.
Okay, then the fringe we want to take down and blend into, see how that starts to really create that real rounded shape. Now, because this is a great big poof, we can kind of create a cheek. When we stab where the eye needs to go, it's going to kind of create some little face poofs.
The cheek and the eye.
Mm-hmm.
And you do some stabbing, but not...
Trying to keep it smooth. Trying to keep it all smooth.
Okay.
Now, if you don't get this in one shot, just take little, for example, I have a bit of a seam right under here. I'm just going to take little tufts, just a real small amount of wool, and it's polluted with a piece of black core. You know, make it look the way you want it, and just trying to simplify the steps for us. But yeah, I can stab where I want the eye to be. And then just making that dent. It's almost like when you, what's that called? Tufted? Like a tufted pillow. I don't do anything fancy for the eye except a piece of black floof.
A tiny piece of black floof.
Black floof stabbed into one place. Try not to pollute the other side.
The impasto is drying a little bit faster than I remembered. But it's still white. By tomorrow it'll be more clear.
Oh, she's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going for is smooth, long neck, nice, you know, nice roundy chest. Definitely look one up. It's going to help. This needle's a little strong. It's going to help help with your decisions.
Poke from all the angles.
All the angles needed. You know, if her head was poofy, so I'm smushing it down. Like put it where you want it to be.
So nice.
They all turn out different. A little more neck here. So I'm stabbing this in. Yeah, just to create a little more neck. Okay. Any questions about the dove?
Somebody said, what kind of dove?
I don't know.
I mean, some.
I looked up white dove.
White dove.
With the
I don't know a lot about.
with the next annex tutorial, I will be very detailed about about the animal.
So nice.
Okay. Female cardinal. Okay, so from this point on, I'm going to be zippy for sure. I mean, that might have been a little bit zippy. Because we've already made this, except I'm going to show the coloring that I did for the female. Will you grab her, please? Thank you. Oh, this was a, I feel like I had one that was a little bit better. Oh, she's up here. This was this is a little, I don't remember which one I made first now. I think this is the second one that has the fibers that we're going to use. Okay, so it doesn't matter what core you use. You could use red, you could use tan, you can use off-white, chunky. But you wrap to the same degree that we did the male cardinal. Beak. It is nice for the tail, I think, to be red or at least tan other than white. Bend and wrap body, shingle palomino. Okay, so then I'm going to use, I can't remember if I got tawny or palomino. You could use sandstone, whatever tan you have that has some some length and smoothness to it, you're going to shingle from tail to neck. And I am going to move along because I would like to show the chickadee as well. So
the Cardinal.
you know what,
No
I
shingling
am going
needed.
to have to open a Gen tan because
Okay.
yeah. The Cardinal, we did not change
No
the color.
Yeah.
I really like, there's no reason, you know.
So the male Cardinal is probably the simplest of all of them. Just in the sense that
the chickadee's
there's
real
no
simple.
shingling.
Yeah, I guess so. The chickadee does have some.
I mean, they're all pretty quick and simple. Except it'll take you 2 hours to make one.
And then on the back of her neck and under her neck, we're going to do a Gen tan shingle or taco, however you want to think about it. And if you remember, on the male Cardinal, we did that on the back of the neck, and it just brings the bulk of the back of the neck together with the body. I'm going to leave the ends of this quite loose because I think the wings are going to end up wanting to be underneath it. So I'm just putting this on the back of her head, just like we did that one piece of red on the male. But I do want to get it on so that, well, I guess I could do her tail. I could work back forward. That's all right. I'm just doing what I'm doing. And then this one under the chin, she's still going to get black. So it doesn't have to be, right up under the beak, but we do want to blend this slightly darker color in.
Someone asked, "Are we doing eggs today?" Also, looks like you.
I did start some eggs, yeah.
Face ace.
Face ace for sure. I'll show her. I'll show how I wrap it. Is that Milo?
Yep. He's snoring. His face is smushed.
So I do want to put a little tiny black taco under her chin. She has the same mask.
Wonder if
This
they
is-
can hear the dog snoring.
I know it's a little far from the microphone, but so this is comes up right to her beak, and the fringe overlaps the Gen tan that I just put on, and then she gets a head poof also, but instead of red, we're going to use Gen tan and a little Manx and a little bit of the plumage. So I want a 2-inch strip. You don't have to use Manx. You could use walnut. You could put walnut with it. Let's do it all. Put a nice.
So same techniques,
Same technique.
different
I'm
coloring.
going to give this a little tack down because I'd layered so many colors here. I just want them to stay
where you put them.
where I put them.
This technique could be done for all kinds of birds, just different coloring.
I mean, the blue jay has a little crest. I don't know. I don't really know off the top of my head
Okay.
which birds have.
Well, I
Ooh,
mean,
that looks
just
pretty, doesn't it?
overall,
The
and
whole
armature.
technique. Absolutely, yeah.
people just need to pay attention to how wide and how much chest, and really look at pictures. Ooh,
I know. It's like
it's like a whole
a
head
lot of impact. Can't get this. So I want this right down on the beak, but then I want this, instead of coming like down the side of the head, I want it to come around the top of the head. Like where the brim of a hat would be. So cool. She's like a rock star. I should have done my hair like this today. Okay. Then she gets her black mask. Just think mask. If I pull this out and actually create a thin spot, you know, and give it a twist, you can get that. You were saying it was hard to keep it thin. I'm going to tell you the tricks now, Kyla. I like getting the cat eye too. I think that's a good look. I love the way like one step, you know, covers the seams of another step.
It's amazing what a little fringe.
Fringe is
do.
our friend. How's everybody holding up to the... I guess we're not really truly in the holiday hustle, like that kind of crazy time, but we're getting there.
It's getting there. I think that was my realization earlier.
I know that we're mostly women here, and I feel like it is a lot. I really like that walnut in there. She is fabulous. All right, let's do her little tail taco. I'm gonna do walnut and a little bit of plumage. Anybody have something to say about something?
Well, somebody asked, they said, I'm new to felting. I've been trying armatures. I was working on a project and got the armature completed. Halfway through, the wire for one of the legs snapped.
Yes. So, okay.
Somebody suggested inserting another. I mean, you can do a little surgery. I'm wondering what kind of wire.
It's hard. If it's just for you and you're practicing, then yeah, you know, definitely patch it up and keep going. If it's something that you're making as a commission or something to sell, I would start over. Once you get the armature and the wrapping skill, like I started a rather large project yesterday. I did the armature and the wrapping is not, even though it gets you really far and it's like, oh, I'm making an animal. It's really all the top coat, the details, the toes, the coloring, the head, that takes really a long time.
Right.
And and it's really, fiber art is not an expensive art.
Right.
But watch when you build your armature. Sometimes the reason the leg snaps is because if you're following, I'm not sure what tutorial you're following, but I always, when I'm at the shoulder, I always turn the wires in, and that puts the wire right from the wrap into its position. Whereas if you go, sometimes depending on how you wrap, you have to force the wire into position, and now it's just constantly bent at this weird place, and it's pressing against the other wire, and it gets wire fatigue. So in all my time, all my felting, and I have things here that are, like the fiber fairy, she gets posed a lot. I haven't had breakage. The only time I had breakage was when I was experimenting with like a really big project, and I didn't know what I was doing. That was a long time ago. Okay, and then her wings are Gen Tan, a little bit of Manx, and a little bit of plumage. So I oriented the plumage towards one end of the taco so that it was coming far enough out. So this is my underside, and I am going to turn one corner and get that rounded edge.
I'm not sensing holiday panic in the chat.
Good. I'm not panicked.
No panic.
In 1 week from this very moment, I will be heading to Philadelphia to pick up my boys.
Very exciting.
Who have not been home in a year, so I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Now the wings come right up onto her back, and when we put all this fluff down, we don't need to put anything else up on there. How am I doing? All right. Do you guys have time for me to do the chickadee?
I'm amazed the dogs did not just bark.
You have time? You're
Yeah.
good on time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Somebody's pulling in, so if our dogs bark,
Yeah, I
we
thought that was
apologize.
gonna be barking.
I'm ready to hear it.
Okay, thanks, Talbot. I might need to stand up for a little bit. All right, you guys are going to do a better job because you're not rushing.
People definitely want to see the chickadee.
Okay, good. So all that taco stuff that I put on, that is coming down and blending in. Put it where you want it to be, you know? Yeah, once I made the male cardinal, I was like, oh, I gotta make a female cardinal. All right, you are going to neaten this up, felt it tighter, do all the sculpty things. eyelashes under you.
Oh, thank you. Sorta.
Yeah.
Pushed it.
Oh my gosh, she's
So
sweet.
pretty.
She definitely needs more stabbing, but you get the idea. Everybody in my family's gonna get a bird.
You
I
have
have a lot of birds.
you have a lot of birds.
Okay. Chickadee. Oh, watch. You ready, Talbot?
Oh yeah, try and throw it right above the camera.
Okay. Go ahead. Ooh. Oh my gosh, you flew right over. That was perfect. So let me try again. Let me try with a bigger one. And plus I'm sitting. Let me stand up. We are going to make a game out of this. Here she comes. I can't. I'm going to hit this if I arc. One more time. Yes.
You almost made the nest.
All right, that is a lot. That's a lot of ladybirds. Guess what? This is a piece of cake.
It's gonna go from a nice nest to like a horror film.
Too many.
Too many. They're all watching.
On the Chickadee, we want to shingle Seraphina White onto the tail and up to the chest. Remember, shingling is 1/3 of the area gets felted. It's not a taco.
So the Chickadee, you started with a
Chickadee, I started with the 5-inch
5-inch
wire.
piece.
Wrapped the beak tightly in black.
and it's a tiny beak,
Tiny beak.
not a big fat beak.
Not a fat beak. And then I used off-white chunky core, and I even more so than the Cardinal, I keep wanting to call it a robin, I really kept it in a tight little ball. So we got the head fold, and real go for a roundy head. You can even, I don't know if you guys remember in the Basket Bunnies and the Chick, we even gave the head a little bit of a hook.
Yes, yeah.
And that helps get a real round head. So that was 1, 2, 3 shingles. So it's smaller for sure. I'm not quite up to the beak because they get a little black shape there. Did I write the Chickadee down? Oh, it did. So I'm letting that fringe go right out the tip of the tail. And then on the sides, we want a Gen Tan taco, but I think I'm going to put just a little blend. You know what? I'm going to make one with this.
Oh, nice.
Like this one has Gen Tan. All of them do. I'm going to make it with this Palomino. So this goes the fringe towards the belly, but don't cover the whole belly. And you could even just go over the back, I guess. But I'll do a taco. It'll make him a little bit fatter. Just make sure that the fringe, when you look at a picture, is ending where you want it to end. Doing what you want it to do. So the eggs, I wrap, because I think I'm going to run out of steam. But the eggs, I feel like, didn't we show that in something else?
Probably a nest.
A nest.
Tutorial.
I wrap on the face ace, and the face ace, has a taper. And then when I position the wool, I just make sure to build one end of my shape, the wider end of my shape up more.
You
and
can
then
do a lot with stabbing too.
Yeah, and then you just really, when you stab it, it's a lot of stabbing actually.
Yeah.
Eggs are in a way more time consuming than this is. It's because they need to be that very specific shape, That looks cute. Okay, his little tail is walnut. If you need, see how mine doesn't have a neck? If you need to put an off-white chunky core or a Serafina white taco there, you can. But I wrapped this one so much that I really, in my wrapping, I really made it the round shape that I wanted. So
You don't want a neck. I made one and it's a little too necky.
yeah. Yours is on
Where
the
is
reef
your face
behind
ace?
us. My face ace is here.
I'm just gonna make it big.
All right, yeah, here, make it over here. The tail is a walnut taco. You can make it more like a 4-inch piece that you're folding in half. The horse coat colors, you guys, are not just for horses. They're beautiful colors. They have a really nice shine to them, and they're made for direct felting, although I just shingled and it looks great. But they are made for a direct felting, so that almost like a skin tone, so that your coat ends up real smooth and shiny. They would wet felt really well. To make the mottled eggs on these ones, I just mixed together the plumage, the bright, and some, you could either put a little bit of Manx or a little bit of Gen tan or a little bit of some brown
Okay.
or some tan, and it just mutes out the aqua a little bit.
Okay.
That's the Quetzal, I think, the aqua. And then these have, I think these have power wax. All right, so now we have some of our coloring and a little tail, and then the wings are Gen tan and walnut. So I'm gonna make these smaller. I'm not using quite as much. They're narrower. Actually, I'm gonna restack that. Just everything is smaller than the birds we just made.
lesser amounts.
Mm-hmm. Lesser amounts and lesser size.
Yeah, even on the face ace, there's a lot of stabbing.
Yes.
Like
yes.
even kind of tightly wrapped.
Right. Yeah, I wrap it really tight, and then it does take a lot. Especially then if you're putting a color on top of it. Like these, I just made white, but they still need more.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Those are nice big eggs. You started with more wool than me.
They are big eggs. Now, this chickadee, I really like that nice sharp wing shape. So I am rolling one side in. Where's my die? Let's see what we got here.
The little egg's all polluted. It's got some black. It's got a little red. Teresa had asked to see it. So it's just like a crisscross wrap on the face ace. And then all kinds of sculpting. And shoving. You kind of want to pinch the top a little bit. Squat the bottom.
That looks nice. We fixed all of mine. No, I'm just kidding.
So you could add a color on top of this. Would you do it on the face ace if you were doing two different colors?
I did it afterwards. Now, yeah, I also, on the raven nest, that big raven nest that I made them in brown, put the aqua on top, and then reverse needled out the dots. Oh, he's like a falcon. It's like a chickadee falcon. I like this little tail sticking up. Well, chickadees aren't. Wrens really do that. I guess chickadees don't do that quite so much. Okay, black taco under the chin. Got about 1.5 inches wide, 1.5 inches long. And I'm going to make a taco, but then I want to kind of try to get a little bit of a point in the middle. I'm just thinking it. I'm not so much folding a triangle. Just kind of in the way I'm stabbing it. Because we want this to taper and we want this to taper. We want the center to go right up to the beak. But then we want this to taper to a point as it comes back around the head. And it doesn't go above the beak at all.
My egg's so little. I made it for pretty much the size I always make my little nest eggs.
Yeah, that's nice. These were a little big. I don't know. And if you do impasto or power wax them, they do tighten down a little bit. I need a chickadee. Oh no, my battery's gonna die. I'm gonna have to count on you.
For a chickadee
Yeah.
picture. Side view. Here.
Thank you. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, then we want to do the same thing for the top of the head.
Oh, so cute.
I know. This could be a little bit more wool, but let's see. Well, more like a 2-inch square, I guess. Not quite as wide as 2 inches. And then this one, I definitely want. I'm actually stabbing a bit more of a point, like a top of an arrow, and then folding this stuff in. So somewhere between a taco and a triangle.
Could you wet felt an egg to tighten up the fibers?
Yeah, that's a lot of work too.
Like once it's like
by the
this,
time they're felted and they're coated,
yeah,
it's not like it needs more.
Yeah, if you put the impasto or power, a wax on it.
Like these could use another coat, but they're like.
If you didn't want to use a wax and you wanted to smooth it, you could theoretically wet felt.
Mm-hmm. I guess to me it's not necessary, but
my eggs are always
whatever floats your boat.
Fuzzy.
Now this we're going to take around to the back of the head, but unlike the Cardinal, we are going to create kind of like a dome shape with this. We really want this to be like a big dome on top of his head.
They have teeny little beaks.
But I do need the black to come right to the beak, underneath and on top. And then before I decide where I want all this fringe to go, I'm going to put a little white, take a little Serafina white.
It is a Chickadee toupee.
Give it a twist. Not if you twist it more near the end, like a third of the way, then you have a better point. And the point goes right next to the beak. And all the rest of the floof goes back.
Joyce said if you're wet felting the eggs, you're going to have to make them bigger because they will do some shrinking.
Yeah, that's true. Now, you can look at a reference picture and decide. They do all different kinds of things back there, so. The right side of my animals always suffer.
Chickadees are cute.
Mm-hmm.
You've done a lot of birds today.
Mm-hmm.
This is bird 4. Your wings getting weary?
Yes. My bird song is tired. I'm gonna let the white connect back here. I don't remember what I've done on the other ones. I think I'm gonna do a little blend, a little gray, maybe gray and Manx blend, right for the top of the wings here. I'm going to cut this in half because that is a lot of fiber. Doesn't take much. Just a little poof. little reverse needling on some of this, gray to white stuff could be cool.
Very cute. People are loving the Chickadee.
Chickadee's a good time. They're just adorable. It was my grandparents' favorite, so I'm very fond of them.
There's a little talk about eyes. People could certainly, if you wanted that detail, do that.
Yeah, of course. What?
Beak's big.
They have really
Pretty sizable beak.
That's pretty good.
Cute.
I did okay. Where's Talbot?
So cute. He's working on
Wax.
I think. But I can turn it.
Boy!
Do I know how to end the stream?
I don't know,
I
but
don't know if I know.
I think you should be here with me
I
and
think I'm gonna go back to the
see if you can put it on front words. Yeah, I think on these a little black bead eye could be really cute,
Yes. You get that little gleam.
Yeah.
I did. But we're almost done, so we need you anyway. If you're patient, chickadees will eat sunflower seeds from your hand.
I would try that.
Yeah. It'd be so sweet. Oh, my hair is bad. Even my hair is weary.
Wait, what'd you make? This one? You made so many things. Wait, that one. It's a lot of birds.
It's a lot of birds. My house is gonna be birded up. I'm excited though. I'm gonna take these home and put them somewhere and
So pretty.
Yeah.
So people need to post
yes.
what they make, if they make a
Yes.
wreath or a little ornament vase display or what.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see not just your birds, but how you put them into your decor, whether they're on your tree. Yeah, I think the floral wire would be great for a tree. It's way more straightforward than the clip was just. I got those little metal ornament clips, and I couldn't get it to. I couldn't figure out how to get it to seat, really solid. So. Oh, good. People are inspired.
Excellent.
Yeah, we got to keep you guys inspired. That's for sure.
So don't do your, well, I guess it could be Christmas things. Make time to felt. That's what I'm trying to say.
Make sure you make time to felt. Also,
Yes.
in addition
Put
to
that on
everything
top.
else we have to do.
Ignore all the other things. Unless you can't.
I think Longwood Gardens needs all of our felted things everywhere.
What?
We should have a tree. How do we get a tree? And we could get all of the fanfare members to send.
Cool.
All right, we're doing it.
Now that you know people there.
We're going to be featured. That would be
An
the most
inside tree?
awesome tree. in that room.
Yeah.
But they always do a theme. Well, no, there's that one room
The
where
one
they
room
have
is
all
kids.
different, all different trees. Are they all kids?
I don't know.
Can we pretend?
We're students.
Well, thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun to prepare for. We felt it together here at Serafina. We felt it together with you. And, we felt it together. That's a nice pun.
We felt it.
Like to felt it together.
We did felt together. Someone asked to see the Chickadee close up, bottom and top.
Oh.
You went overhead.
Yep.
Wow, that's hard to do. There it is, the whole Chickadee. Look at pictures.
Yeah, look at pictures. This one's a little fatter,
That is, yeah.
bigger.
They do have all kinds of different markings, though. I mean, not that different, but different enough. It's surprising when you really look at them.
So, trying to think. I guess I won't see you guys
It's gonna be a
before
little
Christmas.
while.
Yeah. So, have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Happy felting. The next big thing is the end of year sale, which is 2 days and 20% off.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest sale of the year. And and then like I said, I got some stuff lined up for next year. So very excited.
Yep.
All right, post pictures. Can't wait to see. Thank you, Talbot. Thank you, Kyla.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye.